had no camera mount, so we stole a food tray from a car-hop drive-in restaurant. One of us would hang on to it during the shots, hoping that flimsy little tray wouldn't break loose on the hairpin turns. The challenge was filming that shotgun. When one of the actors pops up through the sunroof of the speeding Cuda and fires his 12-gauge pump shotgun into that hearse, there was only one way to get the shot. I had to get in the car's trunk with that 40-pound Panaflex rig strapped to my shoulder while we raced along, and actor Bill Thornbury fired the weapon point blank at me. Of course we were using blank cartridges. What we didn't know then, but what a well-known TV actor found out later and paid for with his life, was that those blank cartridges blow a lot of dangerous wadding and flaming debris out of the gun barrel at high muzzle velocity. You certainly wouldn't want to be closer to a blank-loaded gun than about 10 feet if it were aimed at you. Crammed in the trunk of our feature car, I was less than 2 feet away. Ignorance is bliss. Common sense told me I needed some kind of protection. One of my loyal crew members, Roberto Quezada, would be crouched in the trunk beside me with 2 jobs, to read the light meter and to keep one hand on that Panaflex camera. There was no room in the trunk for a piece of transparent plexiglass protection, like they'd have on a real movie. Wrapping me in a furniture pad wouldn't cut it. Racing at high speed, the wind would blow it right off. "We got any aluminum foil?" My producer pal, Paul Pepperman, wrapped my head in aluminum foil as I put on my thick parka and zipped it up to my neck. Our camera assistant, Mark Schwartz, offered up his small camera pad and gaffer taped it to the left side of my face. The right side would be left bare. I had to look into the eyepiece and figured the Panaflex camera would protect my face. Mark slid a glass blanket over the lens to protect it from getting fried. At least the lens would be safe. We were ready to roll. Bill was given the loaded pump shotgun. We only had 4 blank shells. We had just the one take to get the shot. George revved the engine, threw it in gear, and the muscle car took off. I yelled, "Go!" and like an action star, Thornbury hurled off that sunroof, and as the wind whipped the thing by me, I was almost decapitated. Bill popped up, aimed the shotgun at camera, and fired. Blam, 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 blam. I have to admit I winced from the sound of the discharge, but witnessed several fiery blasts blow right by camera. We got the shot, and I screamed, "Cut, cut, cut!" George skidded the Cuda to a stop by our truck, and Mark ran up and yanked the Panaflex away from me to safety. George leaped out of the driver's seat to help me and stopped dead in his tracks. "Dude, your face is on fire!" Chapter 1. Bike Safety Week. My parents, Donald and Kate Coscarelli, bought their first home for $19,000 in a massive new development on the northern tip of Orange County, California. When my family moved in, 3,000 homes were under construction, along with 4 new elementary schools in this huge subdivision called Rossmore. The Korean War was over, war hero Ike Eisenhower was capably president, and it was several years before John Kennedy would be assassinated, and several years more before Vietnam would define my generation. It was the late 50s. All the dads were gainfully employed, the moms had beautiful brand-new homes, and we kids had this seemingly perfect landscape to thrive and grow. This was where I grew up, and the possibilities for the future appeared limitless. I met my first best friend on the day I moved into the neighborhood when I was 4 years old. His name was Darwin Horn, and he was bigger, stronger, and a year older. I was like a young Tom Sawyer to his Huck Finn, and we did everything together. Rossmore was our playground, and we roamed that suburb far and wide. Everybody called him Little Dar because his father had the same name. Little Dar and Big Dar. I looked up to Little Dar as he taught me a lot about boy things like fishing, stargazing, and skin diving. But I really looked up to Big Dar. He was unlike the other dads, because Big Dar's day job was as a United States Secret Service agent. Decades later, I would fondly memorialize both Little Dar and Big Dar in my films The Beastmaster and Kenny and Company, respectively. Big Dar had been a football star at Pepperdine, then became a beat cop in the LAPD. Now he worked for the Treasury Department as a Secret Service agent and carried a .38 special revolver in a shoulder holster. He'd spent 3 years protecting President Eisenhower and had been recently transferred to Southern California.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.